Hi, this is Halbert. I'm here to continue with some of the Education 101 commentaries, and I want to thank you all for playing along with me on this little education exercise. I launched into doing these videos certainly without being fully prepared with, an extensive outline for the material and how to move forward, and I'm getting a handle on that now. And by way of that, down in the comments section, I've included a little outline of the basic structure of ideas that I'm working with here to help us all kind of stay focused and on track and oriented to the larger picture. So to say a little bit more about that, the theme here is educating teachers and leaders. And the reason is so that we can be civilized. That's the basic point of this exercise and these discussions, is to figure out how we can lift ourselves up by our bootstraps in this regard to create better teachers and leaders for the future. So leadership, I want to encourage us to think about in terms of a balancing force in civilization that balances out competition and cooperation. And the leadership comes from matured goodness and developed talents. And I'll get into some specific discussion about that later in terms of what it means to have matured goodness and developed talents, is just compared to some goodness and some talents. These are important considerations. And then I also want us to think about education comprehensively when it comes to leadership training and teacher training, that we've got in mind the three different energetic realms that make up life: the spiritual realm, the intellectual realm, and the physical realm. And so we need to learn how to cooperate and compete in an increasingly civilized way in all three of these areas. And what I'm working with here is the concept of musicianship as a way to talk about spiritual leadership. And we're going to talk about scholarship as a way to discuss intellectual leadership, and sportsmanship naturally as a way to talk about physical leadership. And I'd just like us to note at this point some characteristics as it relates to cooperation and competition regarding these three realms. I'm not going to tease this out too much right now. I hope there's some obviousness on the surface when I say that the realm of music and spirituality is naturally harmonious. It lends itself to that mentality quite readily. Scholarship is naturally balancing between competitive and cooperative interests, and sportsmanship is naturally competitive. And so by having these three realms with their three dispositions to the relative balances of competition and cooperation, we've got life pretty well set up to, explore all the alternatives and variables and come to appreciate them and learn how to work harmoniously with all of this. So, that being said as introductory remarks, I would now like to say a little bit more following up on the specifics of the previous video that I did. And that one got into, what was it? Soothing the Savage Beast. I applied these thoughts a bit to the balancing of cooperative and competitive interests as it relates to male and female. Obviously, this is a crucially important part of civilizing ourselves, so I wanted to touch base on that and do so in a way that brought it all together a bit, the spiritual, mental, and physical, and in particular the physical, to reach down that way. And we had a song recommended there at the end of the last video by Nils Lofgren called No Mercy, which was about a prize fighter, and the lyrics related to appreciating the role that the aging champion's girlfriend and mother had to all of this male blood sport, and the cheering on of their man. And it really gets us in touch with just how complicated and complex these issues are of competition and cooperation, and what it means to be civilized, and what it means to be harmonious in the interests of one's immediate family, but extremely competitive with everyone else. And how do we civilize ourselves with all of that? So I just wanted to do at least that much to demonstrate how effective music can be, to help us get in touch with and learn about things that are very different from the harmonious world of musicality. And it can really help us learn about life and learn about other people's experiences and become more empathetic and reflective. And this is crucially important, and music is here to just evaporate differences that way and allow us to reach out across humanity in an empathetic and related way. And I want to say a little bit more about how it crosses boundaries and borders that way beyond, well, actually, including male and female. The first thing I want to do is mention that there's a link below for a rendition of Angel from Montgomery by John Prine, who wrote Angel from Montgomery, not Bonnie Raitt. Many people are unfamiliar with the fact that a relatively young man wrote Angel from Montgomery. And it's such a fabulous expression of how powerful music is in terms of cutting through differences and helping all of humanity relate to each other. I've so many times found people just, they can't believe it. They're incredulous. It just, when I tell them John Prine wrote the song, it makes them uncomfortable even. They feel fooled, and it doesn't seem right. And that's the beauty and the magic of music. And so I definitely want to invite you at this point maybe to take a break from the video that I'm doing and click on that video and check it out, and get your own experience of it, and get caught up that way a little bit to this aspect of the conversation. And then the next thing I want to talk about is how music also cuts across age, not only differences male-female, young and old. And in part this is because, of course, children can develop musicality very early in life and share it with people around the world. There's a link for another video down there that you might have seen that I do want to recommend that you get to that soon here. That's 46 and 2 by Tool, covered by a group of children. And I think the children range probably from about 8 to 14 or 15 or something like that. And the reason I selected this one is because the lyrics of the song are extremely edgy and mature. And you've got a young girl, just cute as a button, probably like 10 years old or something, singing this song. And so there's this incongruency that occurs in an extremely powerful way, because these kids are so talented and this piece of music is so powerful. And so it provides a tremendous experience of the wonderful weirdness of, children being able to express themes that are way beyond their years. And this creates all kinds of issues that I'm not going to get into all the specifics of now. I just, want us to take a moment and reflect on how powerful music is this way. And that's one of the reasons why it's such a fantastic and important way to develop leadership and to develop maturity. Because this is, definitely going to happen. Children are going to listen to the music of adults, and they're going to imitate it. And some of that, isn't sort of like edgy, introspective, a little bit dark stuff like what I'm offering you today for reflection. Some of that, of course, gets into things that are very sexual, which is just terribly challenging issue for humanity to deal with. And I'm not here with the answers to that, but I do want to point out where, I think we find our solutions to it. That if we really start to teach music, everything that goes with that, the type of discipline and mentality, creates the balance of psychological forces to help us manage all the complexities and challenges of life. That we're all in this together, we're incredibly varied, and we've got to deal with all of it all at once. So thanks for letting me go on for a little bit here today. Enjoy those 2 videos and reflections on them. I'll get back to you again soon. I'm thinking probably on Sunday is Father's Day. Maybe I'll play a little song I wrote for a Father's Day worship service many years ago. Wishing you all the best. God bless.